Stepping into the arena is 90s R&B sensation Truth. Join Truth as they sit down and share new single and tour. Details with Boss Lady, Bam, and DL live April 8th, 11:30 a.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern Standard. Mamacita, Spread My Wings. All I Do Is Think of You. It's the arena show with 90s R&B sensation Truth live on Facebook and YouTube.
Hey everybody, it is your girl, Boss Lady. I am so excited to let everyone know that I have been nominated for a QMA award for the Radio Announcer of the Year. Listen, do me a favor, go ahead and click the link that is inserted into this video and vote for your girl, Boss Lady Latricia Brown, for Announcer of the Year. I'm so excited. Yes, you can vote as many times as you want. And yes, I'm sorry, you do have to vote for everybody else. I don't know, just do a process of elimination on everybody else. But on mine, please vote Latricia Boss Lady Brown. I truly appreciate it. I love you guys. God bless you. And thank you all for the support that you guys have given me in last year. What is it that Anthony Moore, so I decided to do this thing called Quartet Spotlight, that every time I'm going to do this, but we're going to bring up Jill because I know she cannot be on here long. But after...
Play everything. So far, to look at the fact of,
So, how do you feel? Because even though we're talking about your boys...
What was that, third? With no wins.
Yeah,
I've been working for Jesus for a mighty long time. This race hasn't been easy, and my hills are hard to climb. But I told the Lord a long time ago, Lord, if you send me, I'm willing to go. Just one thing I need you to do, be with me, Lord, as I'm going through. Now sometimes it's so road.
Hey everybody, this is your girl, Boss Lady, coming from all the way from East St. Louis. I am so excited to be coming with another episode of the Quartet Corner. I had one of my faves. I remember years ago when I got one of their CDs, and I forgot who I got one of their CDs from, but I think it melted in one of the cars that we had long time ago. I think we knew every song on the CD. I am so happy to have on my show today, Mr. Tobie Blanch.
Good morning. Good. Yeah.
Hey, Tobie, how you?
I'm good. Just glad to be here. We just crossed over into a new year, so I'm just excited, man. Just as they say, millions didn't make it last year, Latricia, but we are here, and so this.
No.
We just excited. Yes, ma'am.
I love Tobie's accent. I told him when he first logged in, I said, I just love your accent. It's just so country. Now explain to me, where are you guys from? Where are you guys from?
We are from Verona, Mississippi, by the way of Tupelo. You know, Tupelo is the bigger city, but Verona is a little smaller town, like on the outskirts of Tupelo. So we are actually from a little town called Verona, Mississippi. But you know, Tupelo the bigger city, so they tack us on to the bigger city. But we actually Verona, Mississippi.
No, Verona. What's the population?
Population in Verona, man, 1,500, maybe 1,500.
And that's like East St. Louis. East St. Louis got that many people.
Yeah, about 1,500. Yeah.
I get it. I understand, because a lot of times people say that I'm from St. Louis, and I let them go with it because I understand that a lot of times people don't understand that East St. Louis is right outside or across the street from St. Louis. So sometimes I correct people, and sometimes I be like, whatever. So I get it.
I get it.
I be like, same thing, whatever. But I feel like some people should know, but then I be like, whatever. So anyway, let's get into this interview. I'm just excited for you to be on. So let's talk, Mr. Tobie. So Tobie, how long have you guys been singing? Because I remember when I got you guys CD, and it had to be at least 10 years ago, if not more.
You absolutely. Yep, that's right. Our first project, our first project that started getting us some decent recognition was a project called A New Beginning, and we put it out back around 2010, 2011. Yeah, that's right.
What? See, I be knowing my quartet. I be telling folks, I be knowing my quartet, Tobie. Folks, I be like, don't play. When it comes down to stuff, I be knowing my quartet. I knew it was about 10 years ago because that was one of the baddest CDs that came out that year. Yeah. That year was like, that CD was cold. Like every song on that CD was cold. Like, and I tell people all the time, he be like, come on, Calvin. I be like, who's Calvin? Like, that's just what it is. But anyway, but that was like, that year when I got that CD, is like, I fell in love with that CD. I promise you, I fell in love. And during that time, my ex-husband, when he was sick, like whenever he was in the hospital, that was like one of the CDs he would always wanted to hear. Or when he was taking dialysis, like that was one of his CDs he always wanted to have, was the new Converted Voices CD. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably why it's so like embedded in my brain how long ago it was, you know.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. So was that you guys' first CD, like your first project?
That was the first one that more or less, like we had a couple out, Latricia, but the one that right there. See, and I say this all the time. That CD was produced by Josh Miles when he was 18 years old. Nobody knew him. Nobody. Now he's like he's one of the face of he is the face outside of Harvard with the can. But at that time, he was an 18-year-old kid going to Tupelo High School. He had just started a studio, and it was, you know, he had did a record on his group at that time, Determined. He had did a group record that time on My Second Cousins, Revised out of Plantersville. So everybody had a record except for the new Converted Voices. And so we called, and as they say, history was made. Yeah, we did, and we recorded it in his bedroom at his house. Yes, ma'am.
Wait. Let's back this train up.
Yes, ma'am.
What made you guys put so much faith in an 18-year-old in high school that, like, in his bedroom,
right,
produce and record an entire CD? Like, and to be honest, I'm gonna be honest, like during that time, I wasn't reading like who produced it. I really wasn't. I just opened up the CD, popped it in. You know, I had no clue 10 years down the line I'll be doing what I'm doing now. But who would ever known that was Josh Miles?
Yes, ma'am. That was him. He just at that time he was just as I say, he was just trying to get his sound up off the ground. And we had heard what he was doing we heard their CD. And I was like, man, this dude got a little quality. And then he actually did Revive. And I was like, now we can't get left off of this train. We got to go on jump train while this train is doing good. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna be honest with you. The booth, what he had in his booth at that time, I'm gonna tell you what it was. It was, you know, like the closet at your house where you have like your heating and your cooling. Mm-hmm. That's what he, in his room upstairs, we used to call it the hot box because it used to be so hot. But that was his booth. Like, that's what, like, yes, ma'am, that's where he had his lead vocals at, in that little closet where, like, your heat, you know, like the put like this, your air conditioning system. And that was his booth. And I'm telling you, I couldn't believe he would as they would say, kill them fans and all that stuff. He'll cut that cut the AC off or the heat off at that time. So y'all, Tobie going in there, and the rest of it is history. It's crazy, but them actual facts, yeah.
Man, 18 years old. I don't know. I still would have been scared to, like, you know what I'm saying, 18 years old. Like, okay, I'm gonna let you just do our whole. So he did the entire CD, correct?
Yes, ma'am. He sure did. Yes, ma'am.
I guess y'all gambled on the right kid that time.
Yeah, and
Nice.
as you know, right now, Josh is one of the most sought on our end, or even nationwide. Josh is one of the most sought after producers at this particular time, and you know, then him and Keith ended up winning the Stella together back in 2020. So that really, like, since that time,
I'm sure ATO prices ain't his prices today.
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I'm sure his prices are not the same.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But you know what? Yeah, but that right there, I think, man, I'm still shocked. I wonder, I still got that CD cover. Golly, I wish I would have known that then, but yeah, that was an awesome CD. So even in that, you said that was about 10, 11 years ago. So are you guys going to come up with a new project? You guys deciding when you're going to do a new one?
We are currently, we actually started last year working on a new project. It's entitled the CD. I mean, the CD itself, we ain't named the CD, but we actually did our first single for the new album.
Okay.
Never Leave You Alone. And this album is produced by Josh Miles as well. You know, back and forth, you know, it's crazy, Latricia. What happened was back in 2000, and like when that CD came out in 2011, we actually that's when we was going to all the showcases and all these award ceremonies. We actually that year we went down to the Rhythm of Gospel Award down at that time. It was in Jacksonville, Florida. That CD actually ended up winning Quartet CD of the Year, and we ended up winning Male Quartet. It was actually 4. We ended up winning 4 out of 5 categories. And what actually happened was during that time, we ended up meeting Lachelle Crump at that because we were just singing down there on one of the events that was taking place. And she was like, y'all need to come to the Luther Barnes showcase. Well, this year, and it was in 2013. Yeah. It was actually in Rocky Mount that year. And so what happened was we went and we actually ended up winning Luther Barnes Fall Gospel Classic. That's when we the pride at that time was to get you a single produced by Mr. Ray Braswell. But when we actually won and we started talking to him, we just opted in to just do a live recording with him. And that project came out in 2014. It was titled The New Converted Voices, New Day, live in Tupelo, Mississippi. And that project right there, it boosted us up just a little bit more. The rest of it, it's just been a ride. You know, we ended up locking in a production deal with Ray from there. We put out a single with him, and then after that was up, we came on back home. We back at home now. We back at home with Mr. Josh Miles. Yep.
And you know what? Okay, I don't know why I'm the way that I am, but it is what it is. Like, I remember, or just listening to you guys' music. It's always, I don't know what it is about your voice, or I don't know if it's the way that you say your words, but like the one song. Like I haven't listened to the CD in a long time, but it's the one song. It's like when you can hear gosh, did. It's almost like it's traditional, but it's still got a contemporary sound to it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just so country. Like I know a lot of people want to move with the time, but it seems like y'all still hold to that country sound to me. Like it still kind of had that country western, but Quartet with a little bit of contemporary. Like to me, you know what I'm saying? It's like I've listened because I really listen hard to music. And it's just to me like, I don't know. I just love y'all music. I really, really do love y'all music though. And I'm like, I don't know what it is about Tobie voice. I don't know if it's because the countryness of it or how you say words, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what it is. What you think it is? I mean, what do you think is the key to y'all success though?
I put like this, we just try to stick to what had brought us just traditional quartet music. That name of that song that you spoke on then, it's called Water Time.
Yeah.
And we just, I don't know. I put like this, I started singing with this group when I was 17 years old. And I just got molded to more or less like to just stick to our gun. More or less like this is our sound. This is what we're gonna try to stick with. More or less like, but most of all, I was taught more or less like have something to say, and more or less like make sure that what you're saying, more or less like the people can relate to. You know, we can't. We're country. I mean, we're like this. I'm from the SIP, so I tell you, I'm just country as all get out. So I can only be what I can be, and I just try to do what I do to bring what the new converted voice try to bring to the table. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm telling you, like you guys honestly have your own sound, and I can appreciate that. That you're not trying to sound like anyone else. You're not trying to mimic anyone else, and you guys are true to your own sound, and I really really like that. So my next question is, what can we be expecting? Like, are you guys going on tour after you drop your CD? What's next? What's going on? I know you got a t-shirt on. Can we buy a t-shirt? Yes.
I want to tell all your listeners and all your viewers, brother, if you haven't downloaded that single called Never Leave You Alone, it came out back in May of last year. It's been doing good for us. Like I said, the plan, Miss Latricia, after we dropped this new project, we just gonna see what see how the people like it. It's new, it's all new material, but it's definitely the sound of the new converted voices. And we just gonna see where the chips fall. With dates are, I will say this right here. We have been blessed. I say this all the time. The new converted voices have not had a full project out since 2014. And every year since then, it's more or less like as we've gotten further and further out. Every year when we come down or get to the middle of the year, we like, well, you know, this is about it, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But then the phone started ringing. So we just appreciate everybody, you know, that's more or less like that appreciate what we do. But in regards to next year and this new album, man, we just gonna push it out, try to promote it best way we can, and just hopefully, more or less like the people are still gravitate to what we're producing, and they'll give us a call. You know, that's pretty much it. I mean, I always say this right here. It's always in God's hands. It's always. I'm telling you, every time that I believe that we gonna have a bad year, God always will do something to just blow my mind or blow our minds. It's crazy. Right. Yep.
And you know what? So even in saying that, so you guys been singing 29 years, and you said you've been singing since how old were you?
I started singing with the group when I was 17. I was a junior in high school.
So are you guys, all of you guys related, or how does that work?
Well, at that time it was a different bunch of guys, but at this particular time, you know, I had my brother Calvin, my right hand man, and then I got my nephew, Darian Berry, formerly of Revised, bass player DeMarcus Pittman, drummer Jeremy Jones, top singer Mr. LaMarcus Stovall, and then we got a keys player. The trees you done threw me out. A little guy by the name of Gaten McKenzie that plays keys. We just make it work as far as like a guitar player. I don't have a permanent guitar player, so we just more or less like I end up having to get somebody to fill in. But we got a solid bunch of guys. That's the only thing I can tell you. Our guys are committed to they just committed to the vision, and that makes to me that makes a difference. My thing is this right here. Just because you are not running the highway every weekend does not mean that people are not soaking up what you're putting out. I when I was younger, I used to have this thing about when we would go somewhere and we would sing and I'd be sung my heart out and the people would sit there. But then later on, I had a lady walk up to me one time, and she walked up to me and it was like a slow go that night, but it was just one older lady walked up to me and she said, I want to tell you something, young man. It was a lot of singing here in this building tonight. She said, but I want you to know one thing. I enjoy your ministry more than anybody here, because she said I could relate to more or less like what you're talking about, son. And so that means a bunch to me. I believe what has kept us and preserved us these last years is because the people can relate to what we're singing about. You know, we just can't, they still say we post-pandemic and all this kind of stuff. You know, you being shit up in the house for 2 years. It's a lot of people that went through a whole lot of different things. A lot of people almost lost their lives. Me, actually, I caught COVID in 21 twice, 10 days after my 44th birthday. And after we had our birthday, after we had our anniversary last year in December, I ended up catching it again. But then I thought about some younger people. I'm 45 now. It was some younger people in our area in their 20s that died, but I'm still here. So I got something to say. I definitely got something to talk about. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Man, I'm telling you, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome though. And I think a lot of times that I think people rate their level of success, like you said, by how many times they're on the highway.
Right.
And by even just seeing if they're even making a change or a difference or something like that. And I think a lot of people need to hear that. And some we're not keeping the main the mission anymore. You know what I'm saying? As far as like for making the purpose of hoping to get souls saved or even just minded. I think sometimes that goes out the window. I know it's business, but at some point in time, we got to remember that it's still ministry. And I think it lost translations.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, all right, I'm not going to hold you long. So, in saying that, Mr. Tobie, I guess since you've been in this thing for a very, very long time. If you'd like to leave a message for the generation that's coming up behind you, because you got a lot of young quartetters that's coming up, a new generation. They do things a lot differently than probably our generation and the ones that's before us. But even in that, what is something that you probably has experienced? You don't have to tell us what you experienced, but something that you probably experienced in quartet or even on this road that you might want to give some advice, like just anything. Like, what would you want to give to the generation behind you know what I'm saying, any type of advice or any encouraging word, what would it be?
I would definitely say that stay true to yourself, to your style, but number one, make sure you put God first. And I'm not just saying that because at the end of the day, the main mission that we're supposed to be able to do is trying to hopefully win souls to Christ. Because Miss Patricia, at the end of the day, it's some people that don't go to church, but they come out to Quartet programs, and you know, so you holding lives and souls. You know, you holding lives in your hand. You don't know. Some people come to these programs. I say it all the time, smiling on the inside, smiling on the outside, dying down on the inside, and they just looking for a word that may come out of your mouth to more or less let them know that it's gonna be all right. So I would definitely say, man, God needs to be the center of what you're doing. I know, you know, it's a business side, it's a stage performance side, it's this right here. But at the end of the day, you don't know who came to that particular venue or church that night that's like, they got a lot going on and they just want to hear from somebody that it's going to be all right. And so I would just make sure that they more or less like keep God first. I'll definitely say that, keep God first. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I can honestly say I'm pleased. I'm so excited for a chance to talk to Mr. Tobie Blanch himself from the New Converted Voices. Tell Mr. Calvin that I am so upset with him, and the next time it's me and him gonna fight, because we always talk about Calvin, but I don't never get to see him. I don't know where Calvin be at. Like he like be hiding somewhere. Let me find out you hiding. But anyway. But thank you so much, Tobie. I appreciate you so much for coming on the Quartet Corner. Hey guys, when you get a chance, share this video and let the people know. Hey, Tobie, if somebody want to book you guys, well, who they need to contact? I
will tell you that our booking manager is a guy by the name of Mr. Stacy Wilson. He's a very nice guy, humble guy. Been knowing us ever since I was a kid. But if you want to book the New Converted Voices, give Mr. Stacy Wilson a call. His phone number is 662-610-2423. And he would definitely direct you, in the direction that you're trying to go as far as like booking the group. Yeah, Stacy Wilson, 662-610-2423.
Oh man, okay, I appreciate it. All right, you guys. So make sure you call Mr. Stacy Wilson so you can get the New Converted Voices in your city. Because I've seen him a couple of times live, and I'm telling you, I love it. I don't know what it was you said on your storyline one time, but I had made a joke with one of your songs. I don't think you called it.
It was just I can't remember what it was, but I know you did say that. Just keep on climbing. That was just yeah, just keep on climbing. Yep.
Like I have the worst sense of humor. I was
yeah.
DSS presents I'll Just Wave My Hand, the birthday celebration for Pastor Thomas Emery, Saturday.
Stepping into the arena is 90s R&B sensation Truth. Join Truth as they sit down and share new single and tour. Details with Boss Lady, Bam, and DL live April 8th, 11:30 a.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern Standard. Mamacita, spread my wings. All I do is think of you. It's the arena show with 90s R&B sensation Truth live on Facebook and YouTube.